Hi, and welcome to your New Year 2023 monthly energy forecast. It doesn't come out this Sunday, it comes out right now, but I guess I didn't edit this little banner here, but yes, we are here now. And I know it's late at night, but sometimes divine timing is in place. So I have a lot to share with you this month, and I actually usually have my big yellow pad, but this during our car ride, I actually channeled all this today, and it looks like if you could see how long this is, it's like quite a bit of stuff for the next month. So, I'm going to do a little bit of our announcements because the new year, we got a lot going on and it's a new you. So, I'm sure with the December energy being the way it was, that a lot of you have felt a very harsh, turbulent, emotionally charged December. Probably didn't even feel like the holiday energy was quite the same. And then even leading into January, it was a little bit turbulent as well. But as we come into the upcoming weeks, the energy is changing quite a bit. And we have a little theme called cracking open the shell. I know I've been having these themes. So, cracking open the shell is just being like, you're finally ready to expose your vulnerability and finally hit that part of you that's ready to come out into the world without that armor and that protection, getting ready to like really experience life and love and abundance and joy on a whole other level, right? But if we looked at you maybe a year ago or maybe 2 years ago, it may not have been an eggshell, which is kind of easy to crack, right? And you get to that yolk, like, so you've kind of like imagine that egg, and then imagine like a big vault, you know, or a lot of things above that egg. So you couldn't really get through to that middle. So finally, you finally now did a lot of work where you might have that thin layer of that shell, but it's finally the January theme. And the theme leading into the year of 2023 is cracking open that shell. You're finally ready to, I can't say all of you are going to do this, but the opportunity is there to really live your best life. And I'm not just saying that because it's a new year, new you type of concept. I'm kind of saying this because just because the opportunity and the window is there for you, it's really not just going to magically like appear, right? It's not just going to magically be like, oh, you're going to expose your vulnerability and have the opportunity to live your best life. The only thing I could present to you are the energies that are present. That doesn't mean, like, if you're not in a place where you've done any work or you've gotten to this point where your eggshell is a little bit thin, if you still have that big wall up, that guard up, that, bank type of vault where nobody can get through, then cracking open the shell might be a little bit more difficult for you because you haven't moved through those layers to get to that point. But you may feel because the if you're watching this 9 out of 10 times, you've been doing that processing, you've been doing that work. So it might even be a little bit scary to be at that point where that eggshell is so thin where it might crack open and people might have to, you might have to show exactly who you are and your vulnerability and your pain and all that stuff. But if we don't do that, then we're not able to really like live fully and experience, joy as well as pain and all the grief and all the things you've probably experienced so far. um, the reason why you haven't gotten to this point is because there were protections involved to kind of like not allow you to get to that egg yolk or that pain, but you do have the opportunity. And if you get to that and you heal that core and think about it, it's like a yellow yolk, right? That is kind of like the third chakra, your solar plexus, which is yellow in color, and that's your center of empowerment. And if you think about a time in your past or in your childhood where that power was, taken away in some shape or form, this is where that egg yolk is going to be perfect now. It's going to be yellow and shiny like the big sun. And you will, like I said, this is not just for January, but the theme for the entire year is you will have the opportunity to live your best life, right? Starting over, new beginnings, all that stuff. Will you step into it? That all depends on you. So it's not just like, here I am giving you a forecast and it's just going to happen. I think there's some of you that might be used to sabotaging that, or maybe you've just had enough and you're finally ready to like say, and I'm not talking about the last year. I'm not talking about 2022, although that was a preparation year. I'm talking about 20 years prior. So starting, if you think about where you were in 2003 to where you are now in 2023, and you think about the patterns that were going on in those 20 years. And I would venture to say, if you look back to 2002 going into 2020, 2002 going into 2003, there may have been a shift in your path. Maybe you chose something different. Maybe you chose a different road, but it led you to these next 20 years. And a lot has happened during that time, and a lot of tough testing has happened for a lot of highly sensitive, intuitive individuals. But that karma and whatever lessons, if you look at, there was a lot of patterns. If you look in the last 20 years, pick out the pattern that you see in your love life, your career, your relationships, you're maybe moving around too much, whatever. Your patterns will be very clear if you really sit back and think about 2023, 2003 till now. So we're going to talk about that period of time and how that karma is being cleared for you to like actually be completely released from that, to kind of not even associate it with your story. Like you're a new spirit, you're shedding your skin and you're moving ahead. So I'm going to get into the dates in a second, but first we're going to do a couple announcements. So if you are ready to really take it up a level, really take it up a level and take a breath, step aside from your stress, from your location, from your work, from your family responsibilities, just from all the things that you have on your mind and the things that might even be going around on with other people in your life, because a lot of you right now have kind of people that are in turmoil and chaos around you. So sometimes to get clear on your purpose and your path, you need to step away to get clear, ground yourself in nature in some sort, and really have accountability to making that plan a reality, right? So if you are on the path of personal development, if you are on the path where you want to take a leap in one area of your life or another, whether that be finding that soulmate relationship, leaving toxic situations behind, uh, changing your career completely, or aligning your career to make it more aligned with what your soul purpose is, or if you're looking to really tune in and figure out what your soul purpose is, we have, well, I have, not we, me and the spirit team here have an opportunity for you to step away, breathe, connect, learn to trust your intuition, get into that inner wisdom, and fully align with where you are headed. Because if you are scattered, if you're all over the place, if you're stressed, you're going to be mistaking your intuition for many other things, such as fear, and your nervous system being out of balance is not going to give you that clarity. So you're going to be making decisions based on that. And we want you to make decisions based on you being at your true center and aligned, so that that information, those messages, those intuitive messages could come in and give you that direct insight where you don't have to go to anyone, where you know full well what that next step is for you. So if you would like to come and hang out with me and 15 other people, spiritual seekers who are looking to align, and this is for people that are really who we're really looking for, high achievers, creative visionaries, spiritual seekers, highly sensitive, talented, intuitive people that are stuck, scattered, and kind of in chaos within themselves, to kind of take a step away and to create that next step in your life, or if you're a business owner, in your business. So my retreat, my first retreat coming up for the new year, is in Lake Placid, New York, May 11th through 14th, 2023. And if you want to learn more about the retreat and apply, I'm only taking applications because I want to make sure that the group is actually integrated with each other and that everyone there is kind of connected to the same energy of the other people there, and we're all in the same place. So you can go into the description of this video and you can apply and get more information via the brochure for the retreat. There is a link. So go to the link if you feel like it's really aligning with where you want to go, what you want to be, what you want to do for 2023. Just go and look at the description and the brochure, and there will be a link to apply. And it's just a series of questions about where you are, how much personal work you've done this year, what your goals are. And then if you are accepted into the program, then you and I will do a little 15-minute Q&A call where you can ask any questions you want before you make a decision to join us. I only have 8 spaces left. So if you would like to, I would urge you to apply. You don't have to, pre-register or anything to apply. Just do that and we will have a little chat to see if it's right for you to join us. So also, if you would like to get in on our bonuses, you would need to register before January 31st and get the Ramp Up 6-session pre-retreat mastermind. So this is the retreat before the retreat where you and everybody else who's coming will get together to actually tune into the cosmos, tune into the universe, and bring in the collective of all of us to kind of get really clear onto that next step for you. And by the time you get to the retreat, you're ready to take that leap and take that action plan off and running. So I would love for you, if you're considering this, to have the opportunity. This is a $2,500 value to come and do the 6-session mastermind, which would be a bonus to the retreat. So like I said, we like more information, photos of where we're going, where you're going to be, what it's going to look like, what we're going to work on. Just go to the link below in the video and check out our information page and just apply. If you think you may or may not be ready, doesn't mean you have to register. We will check out your application, get back to you if we feel you're a fit, and then schedule a call for any questions you may have. So looking forward to seeing you there at the retreat in May and help you transcend and take the leap to your soul purpose and get in alignment so that you could lead that life. When you get the egg yolk, you could leave that life of purpose and fulfillment. Okay, well, let's get to the dates of the monthly energy forecasts coming up. So the 16th, which is tomorrow. So what we just talked about, I just have the words down, down, down. So you may have felt a decision in the past couple days going into deep emotions, grief, sadness, and anger. And this is a day to kind of allow yourself to go as deep as you can, because it's still going to be there. It's asking you to go in and dig deep. Like if you're digging deep into the earth, go deeper where you can hit that wellspring of water to just come up and handle as much as you can. Okay. Allow yourself to release and feel and grieve as much as you can. And also tomorrow, because I feel the depth of the emotion could really go deep, it's kind of like if you think of an elevator going down, 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 that's where your subconscious, you're finally accessing some of these deeper emotional wounds. There's nothing wrong with you. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. But I'd like for you to have somebody in your support system who's a little more objective tomorrow to be around, right? Somebody that's not going to trigger you or trigger them, that kind of thing. So, as if that wasn't the most positive thing, but it is. If you can really keep going down, 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 the deeper you go, I want you to hit that wellspring. I want you to hit that water. I want you to hit that healing center so that you can be nurtured by that water and healed by that water. So allow yourself to go as deep as you can and feel as much as you can, and don't get too cerebral or logical about it, because you have to hit this in order to get to that breaking the shell. You have to hit this. So allow yourself, as much as it hurts, to be vulnerable with yourself, but to also hold space with yourself and not try to distract yourself by getting rid of these emotions or eating them away or go shopping them away, because tomorrow is a holiday. So it's like, I don't want you to run. Think about the ways that you do run away from things. And I would like you to use this as the opportunity to get as deep as you can. Now, the 17th. Okay. So it's going to get better. Don't worry. It's going to get better. But the 17th is a day of difficult news. Okay. So I feel like there's some harsh reality coming about people in your life that you've really tried, especially over the past 3 years, to be like, hold that fantasy in your mind of like hope for them and who they are and wanting happiness for them or whatever it may be, but really a fantasy of that person, place, or thing. And I feel like it's a day of like really difficult news, kind of like pushing you now that you went through all that emotion the day before, or really the last week. Um, these are things that really have to, situations and things that really have to be fully accepted and acted upon. Okay. So reality, as you know, it has already shifted in the past 3 years, but they're still holding on of that fantasy of that relationship being different, maybe. Um, and there will be, it's a kind of like the reality is, it has to be shifted. It has to be, you have to like almost like cut it entirely to like build a whole new bridge for yourself because there will be a brighter new beginning. Um, this is where the egg is coming in and doing that. But the light has to kind of expose the darkness first. And that's where we are on the 16th going into the 17th. But the 17th is that bright white light, kind of like if you imagine like a surgery room and that bright white light coming on, and you'd be like, there's no doubt that this is what it is. This is what's going on. And it kind of needs to be like that person needs to just be accepted for what that person is, not what you want them to be. But that you have to accept it and need, like I said, at least one key support person to help you who is objective and can have you process this. Okay, now the 18th. So I know that's a little rocky what we talk about at first, but it's all necessary. It's all necessary for you to be able to crack that egg to get to that new opportunity and that new life. Is the day of stabilization, 18th. Things today will start to ascend slightly, and you will begin your new cycle of balance, mutual investment, and reciprocity. So, what does that mean? That means like if I'm looking at, you know, two different glasses of water, and one has like not a lot, and one has like it's all full. You're kind of the one that has doesn't have any water, almost empty, because you put your glass into the other person's glass to fill their cup first. Well, now we're looking at homeostasis if we think about science, or both of those glasses having the same amount of water. That's really the new life that you're building. So you, like I said, we're going to ascend slightly, and you begin your new cycle toward these two glasses being equal of balance in relationships, mutual investment in relationships, and reciprocity, meaning that people are both giving and taking equally. So you may already see new relationships and strong connections forming around you, supporting you and carrying you to the next level. So if you are doing this personal work that I've been talking about, if you are in that period of transformation, you're already seeing new opportunities since the start of the new year coming into your life, positive people, people to bring you higher, ascend, all that stuff. But you also are having the people that are grabbing at you, being like, we don't want you to change. So we're going to get even more loud over here. Your old cycle is also very loud at the same time. So you will get strong pushback as well and tested from the old system. So a period that heralds a lot of chaos before the light and balance and homeostasis and something takes place. I'm going to say homeostasis and balance takes place. So I want you to think about that's the theme, right? That's what you're working toward. The 19th is a high and powerful energy, high manifestation day, but I want you to use this energy wisely. I don't want you to match the energy and feel like you have to like push things forward. You don't want to push the intensity and match it on this day, as it will be too much for the opportunities that may be presenting themselves to you. This is like going along and riding like a big wave and allowing the energy to lead. So my advice for this day is don't push. Hence, you're going against the energy. Okay. If you push, you can't, the energy is going to be so strong that you can't really match it. So it's best to just see that wave come in, get on your surfboard, and do a beautiful ride to the shore. Now, this is especially in your career. You may have a lot of energy flowing around that area or sector. So don't try to think you have to push harder to get what you want because you already have the energy behind that wave. Just use it wisely and use the wave to take you to where it needs to be, right? You don't need to be the wave, you need to ride the wave. Do you get my drift? Okay. 2021st. These 2 days are the most restful days of the month for relaxation, settling in, and renewal from one of the harshest December energies in a decade. Okay. So take that because you're not going to have another 2 days in the month like that. These days are the only ones this month that are best suited for supporting rest and take advantage of it. If you're a writer, though, of any kind, this may be a portal of energy that if you tune into it could spawn your next powerful creative work, epiphany, proposal, or technique, creative vision. Creative visionaries really should open their intuition on this day because you can really get those really powerful uh, sources of inspiration that drive your creative projects. 22nd is a day of birth, conception, additions to family, not pets though, right now, but could relate to also taking care of your elderly parents, or figuring out the next steps in an elderly person's journey in your life. Or it could be when conception happens if you're trying to start a family. 23rd, a great day for engagement. Okay, this could be like a literal engagement for a proposal, but not only for love, but but what am I writing? My writing is so all over the place. Um, not just for love, but being connected to partnering or aligning with your soul family. Okay, for the purposes of going to the next level. So that's where that engagement is coming in. 24th and 25th, the bridge of transformation days. So even though you feel like, if you imagine a wooden bridge and you kind of have to go over that bridge, but there's like fog in front of you and it's shaking and you're not sure if there's even all the planks to walk on. Um, you're insecure, maybe from the last 2 months, and it is justified, right? But nobody's going to walk you like on this bridge to the other side. It's like you're alone, and you have to really, have to really trust that you're going to walk this line, and it's going to be better on the other side, right? But you've probably seen this bridge multiple times, but you probably didn't want to walk it, and now it's time to walk it. So you need to cross this bridge into the new territory and into the new you, but you must trust it and walk alone. For there will be a celebration on the other end that you can't see yet because they are silent behind the forest. So I see this vision so clearly for you. You have to take that walk because what lies ahead, it's like you can't really go back in the past anymore because it's not going to serve your purpose at all. But this bridge, it's like you still don't feel a firm footing. So you're like, how am I going to walk this alone? I need people to like carry me over this bridge. But you can do it. You can walk it. Um, and I see a lot of applause on the other side. So the 26th is that day of applause, which is almost expected, um, because there's higher ups, there's peers, and what you offer, what you're bringing to the table for your soul alignment is needed. So it's almost an expected applause, like, wow, you are a master at what you do. You are a master at the talent that you have, and it's almost that expected applause. Like, yeah, we applaud you, but we expected you to be this good. So the 27th is you've kind of gone through this 24th, 25th, 26th, and it's kind of like, oh my God, you've walked this bridge, and And that's when the 27th, you have that final block. Maybe you're almost at the end of that bridge and you're like ready to like go into the forest and go through the forest and meet whatever is on the other side. And you're not knowing yet that it's that applause and people waiting for you. But you know, if you take that step off of that bridge, it's been creaking when you've gone over, that that bridge is going to just collapse behind you. And you can either run back right now or you can get off that bridge and just stand there in front of the trees and be like, I have to go forward. So you may meet resistance at that final end of the journey, um, from those patterns, people, situations, things that want you to remain the same. But this will be the final push. So you're not going to meet that block anymore if you can get to that point where you have to fully release that bridge and you have to move forward. You cannot go back if you get off that bridge, right? So your new soul group has commenced and they will await you, and you must disassemble the negative, um, and go into the forest. So I feel like I'm like, number 5 is alive, disassemble. Only 80s kids would understand that. Disassemble. Yeah, right. Watch that movie again. Maybe there's some sort of symbolism there for you. Somebody's laughing out there. I know. I'm kind of like, I know you got a smirk on your face, whoever you are. Maybe there's many of you. But number 5 is alive, disassemble. Hope you're getting all my visions. The 28th. On the other side of the resistance is love, and the love of yourself that you've made to this point. The negative past is now fully behind you. When I say fully behind you, I mean fully behind you. Okay. Just like if I were to say this 5 months ago, it'd be like, yeah, those situations happen. You understood how they happen. But if you had to retell them, you'd probably have some emotions and you'd probably have some holding on that you've been doing, or wish things were different, or anger, or you feel justified, whatever. It, if you do what I tell you to do, the negative past is now behind you. You have been elevated. So the 27th is all about releasing karmic blocks and ties, old patterns, and many attachments that have been blocking you since 2003. We talked about that. That part of the path is closed. And the old bridge it's like kind of like, let's say you go into a town that you went to as a kid and there was a bridge that they closed. You can no longer transverse this bridge, but maybe the structure is still up. But you can't go across the bridge. It's just not sturdy. Okay. That's kind of where you are. So that part of the path is closed. You can't go across that bridge again and meet those same, patterns and cycles and people. The bridge is closed. You can't go over it. It's like you can't even get onto it. It's boarded up. It's closed. But the structure may remain, but it doesn't have cars going over. It doesn't have energy, just a structure. But you can't go that road again. So you made it. I have with an exclamation point. 29th, 30, and 31st, time to play, be a kid again, and begin with a fresh start. So if you did all this, it's time to celebrate. And the 31st is when you're going to set your manifesting intentions wisely. So that's when it's a powerhouse, the 31st, powerhouse energy. That's when you want to set your manifesting intentions. Set them, sit home, be silent, but be powerful, maybe in a group, light some candles, write it down, especially write it down, set those intentions. February. If you've ever seen the Ace of Cups card in the major arcana, you will realize that this February 1st really represents this. You have raised your cup, okay? You've raised your standards specifically, and you want more for your life. So you have the opportunity for greater power, true success, abundance, and support of the flowing water coming to you. So the problem is that what you have been building without water energy behind you and your efforts, it made it much harder in the last 20 years to kind of move forward in a lot of things, especially with your career, or it seemed like you just had it a little more difficult because you didn't have that water energy underneath it flowing, keeping it moving, right? It may have been just really hard earth energy or really strong, like just building and building and building. But I just don't feel like you had that support in a lot of areas. But this water energy that's flowing with the Ace of Cups, it's like you do have that success, but you also have the water energy that keeps that flowing and that nurtures and supports you and holds you up, right? And that cleanses you as you keep going. So the second is your contract and deal date. Possible paperwork is coming on this day for you to sign. It's okay to receive it. It's okay to talk about it. Not an okay day to sign. You may be a little bit lower energy or not see things clearly or be a little cloudy. So I would not advise signing any paperwork on the second if you could avoid it. The third, sign on the dotted line as there is much more favorable, strong, and lasting commitment if you sign on the third. Now, the fourth is a down day. Stick to your routines. Stay home. Don't move around much. Well, you can move around, but just don't get caught up on. It's a good day to caught up on the things that got left undone, like the practical tasks or admin things or just stuff around the house that remains undone because of all the spiritual work you've been doing in the past 2 weeks. So stick to the routines. The fifth, balance in life is essential for you to move forward. So a plan needs to be in place for you to keep things consistent. And I feel like you need mentors or organizers or experts in different areas. So let's say you have a personal trainer who gives you a plan, an expert plan on your, you know, exercise routine, or a physical therapist who gives you a plan to get your, strength back. And then you have a nutritionist for your, you know, your eating plan, or some people don't like to think about that kind of stuff, but maybe just following a more clean diet, whatever. But I wouldn't say to put these plans together yourself because you won't actually commit and follow through. You need different regimens, different organized for the next month and a half or 2 months with all of these things to kind of get back in balance. So, what am I saying here? A plan needs to be in place, a strong one to go where you need to go. Consider outside plans and strategies by experts are made for. I had down at least 2 months, but I'd be happy if you did a month and a half. Plan in the areas of health, fitness, body, structural alignment. Oh yeah, balancing both sides of the body and energy. So if like you can see someone to help balance your structural, your posture, doing some energy work to make sure both sides of the body are balanced and flowing. This is really important too. But like I said, need an expert, need a mentor, need people that can put together a plan for you to consistently make sure that you get this done and keep moving forward. On the sixth, a question to ask yourselves. This is a funny one. Are you hydrated enough, right? So this is all around water energy coming into your life. So the question is, can drinking more water and breathing more deeply, wait, hold on, and breathing more deeply be the simple solution to all of your problems? Wouldn't that be crazy? Uh, Water intake or bottle of choice and lemon or fruit I have down. So if you don't like just plain water, why am I so much brighter right now? That's weird. Um, yeah, wouldn't it be interesting if like you're maybe just feeling your joints are off or you're just feeling like tired or low energy? Wouldn't it be interesting if you just needed more water and to really breathe deeply, do some meditation, yoga, that kind of thing? Seventh, spiritual day of silence. Okay. And not knowing. Okay. So I feel like you're going to have all these questions on the seventh, like things moving forward. You feel in limbo. You want answers. You want support. You want advice from friends. Something is like not answered. And I don't feel like it's supposed to be on the seventh. So a lot of you might go back to this, day, this forecast, be like, what did Marisa say on the seventh? Nothing's really supposed to be answered. Actually, the purpose of the seventh is no one is available for answers today. You are being told to trust the silence, to trust the process, trust the universe. Silence is important. Sometimes people don't like silence because it's not knowing, and uncomfortable. But silence is beautiful if you allow it to be. Trust it. Now, the eighth, you'll realize that your footing is stronger than it ever has been. You are ready to take off. The reason why you didn't in the past, okay, because a lot of you may have said, well, I've been trying to do this thing for a long time and it just didn't take off. It has nothing to do with intuitive talent or productivity or your whatever talent you have, but that you had no solid, you weren't on solid ground and your foundation under your feet, you were on a rocky terrain, right? So now you do, and now you are ready. So, you might be seeking answers to this. You may have been seeking answers to this for the past 15 years. This is why. Ninth. All right. So you have yourself on firm footing, firm foundations, but the ninth, you're looking fine too. So even though you may see it different, um, I feel like you're going to have many more admirers because your energy is going to be much different and suitors than you realize. So you're hot to trot moving forward. Like your energy is just going to really change and be very magnetic. So the 10th, I don't know what this means. It's the golden day and you will be crowned. You're going to be the prince or the princess. Not sure what that means. So I feel like you're getting recognized for something you didn't expect on the 10th. The 11th. So this is a day where any requests, prayers, or enlightenment you need from your guides, your spirit guides, your ancestors, people on the other side, your ascended masters, saints, angels, Holy Spirit, whatever, and whatever religion you are, believe in, Jesus, Mary, the saints, Holy Spirit, whatever denomination you are, can be accessed today very strongly. On the 11th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the time to make those requests, those prayers, your intentions, if you need assistance from them. Also, ask Archangel Michael to cut cords and give you the sword of strength so that you can move ahead with a clean sword and move ahead and really start to, instead of having to do battle, you're actually manifesting your way to a much higher energy. So the 12th is the day of forgiveness, of the self. Think about that. And for those who have left this world on their own too early, those are the things you got to think about forgiveness around on the 12th. Forgiveness of yourself, and for those who have left on their own too early. Release them to that next level of spirituality as you are also needing the release to move to your next level. It's like the parting of the seas. So as much as we hold on to wanting them still here and having that grief, however somebody left too early, we still hold them and they still hold us. So forgiving yourself for what you think you should have done, and finally letting them go on their journey because they need to move ahead in the other dimension to their next level of spiritual advancement and soul purpose. And if you're tied up, you're not going to be able to move. So you have to release them to be released yourself and forgive yourself. So the true parting of the seas. I told you this was going to be a big one this month, right? Usually it's about 25 minutes. We're going on 40. 13th, good day for extra income, launch of a new product, service to the public, or a proposal that you're making. 14th, recalibration of your energy and gas tank. So are you consistently keeping it filled? Where are you going to fill it? Okay, what are you doing? Making sure you have that plan in place. And the 15th, I have written, it's the pregnant pause. I don't think pregnant's supposed to be literal. Maybe not. But take it. There's power in the pause and the space between, even though, like I said, some people don't want to do that. Take the pause, and then you're going to really be seen. So that was a lot. Please comment And if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, please make some comments below how you related. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please, you're going to get these in your email when they come out every month. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you get the notifications. And if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you like us on Facebook because that's where all the interactivity happens between our community and following. So make sure that you do that. And like I said, if you are ready to take that leap and ready to work and really align with your truth and soul purpose, join us at Transcend Lake Placid, May 11th through 14th, 2023. For more information and the information sheet, click on the link below in the video description. Only 8 spaces left. We're taking only a small amount of people. And if you feel aligned and something's sparking you to say, I need to do this, make sure you hit apply, fill out the short application, and we will get back to you very soon. And if you'd like to join the mastermind, which is the bonus that is going to be added for people who register early before January 31st, you will get 6 extra sessions with everybody going for the pre-retreat mastermind to work toward that goal that you're going to be working on in the retreat. So there you have it. That's a January 2023 monthly energy forecast. Remember, let's crack open the shell. So we'll see you soon. Remember, tune into the lounge every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for interviews with authors, transformational healers, intuitive light workers, and much more. So we'll see you then. And I hope you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. And I'm intuitive medium and transformational guide, Marisa Liza Pell, and we are signing off. Have a great rest of your day and weekend.